Good morning, everyone. It is 9 o'clock on the dot. It is time for us to actually now start with our multiplication revision session. Revision session. And yeah, guys, I hope everyone is happy. It's a very cold morning where I'm from. It's very, very cold, like extremely cold. It's like I'm right now in front of the heater, wishing that I could be inside the heater so I could teach you guys, but it's fine. I can accept the weather the way it is. Thank you guys for attending. Thank you guys for being attentive and being super students. So today what we're going to do is that we're going to be doing revision of multiplication. Double digit, 3-digit, all of that. We're going to be doing that in the lesson, and we're doing it because next week we're going to assessment. So because we're going to assessment and because we want to make sure that you guys have a good chance of passing, because that's the one thing I want. I felt it necessary that we do as much as we can in regards to revision. We look at all the questions, everything, and you guys think of questions. Right now, actually, what don't you understand? Let me ask a question to you, beautiful grade fours. What don't you feel that you don't, what don't you understand when it comes to multiplication? What are the problems that you meet when it comes to multiplication? What do you find most challenging? What is the most challenging part about multiplication, and what is the least challenging part about multiplication? So what do you find most difficult, that you know you've tried your best but it's not working out?
Hello,
Good
sir.
morning. How are you?
Fine, thanks, and you, Sam.
I am excellent too. So what do you find most challenging about multiplication?
Sir, I find it most challenging when you always have to, when you get this, and like maybe for example you say, maybe they say 12 times 2, and the thing I don't like is that because you always have to count, and sometimes I lose track.
So let's say if I said to you 12 times 3, right? Are you with me?
Yes.
I said to you 12 times 3. Let me teach you a nice trick about 12. You see, the nice trick about 12 is that you multiply by 10 and then you multiply by 2 and then you add them together and it always works out. So if you said 12 times 7, right? And then you say 7 multiplied by 10 is what? 20, right? 7 multiplied by 2 is 14, right? So 7
Yes.
plus 14 is what?
It's
70.
84.
And that is what 12 times 7 is equal to.
Oh.
Yeah. So you just multiply the one thing by 10 and the other thing by 2, and then you add them together, and then you are perfect.
Hey, Seth, thank you.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I'll show you guys more tricks. I have more tricks. Oh, I should have shown them. I have other tricks as well that you guys can use. Hello.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm excellent. So what do you find most challenging about multiplication?
Well, so the most thing that I find challenging is when you times like when you times the numbers with even bigger numbers. Like for example, 1,000 times 3. Well, that one would be easy, but actually,
Like, let's say you are saying 1,786 multiplied by 23.
yes, it gets a bit
Right.
hard. And
All right.
since you're in grade 4, like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, so you don't use any calculators. You just use
Uh-huh.
one. So the reason why I find it a bit hard is because
Mhm.
sometimes you may lose track of how you're accounting. But
No,
even
no,
though I
no.
do the even if you do the column method, I'm still
Mhm.
confused of how did I get my answer.
All right. I'm going to show you two different methods. These are the methods which are the easiest, right? And then one thing I would always advise with you is that just always remember a friend of ours who comes from Pretoria named Place Value. You see, if you remember a friend named Place Value, your life becomes very easy. Because I don't think the problem is the multiplication part. I think it's that you're not sure to say that am I really multiplying 4 by 300 or 4 by 4,000 and stuff like that. I'm going to clear that up for you through the lesson. And then one thing I'll always advise you is that just remember place value,
Yes,
respect value, and always keep it in mind. Like always say place value, place value, place value, place value. Because if you don't respect place value, you're going to find problems. And then you're going to find that in actual fact, it's not that you lost track, my darling. It's that you didn't respect the place value.
yes. So there's actually an
Sorry? Please repeat.
so
Please
there's
repeat.
also so
Yes, please repeat what you're saying.
so there's also a different way how to do the 9 times method.
Yeah.
Well, it's quite simple. So we're actually doing the 9 times method. So
Mm-hmm.
you say 0 times. Wait, it was 1 times 9, which
Mm-hmm.
is equals. Then after, yeah, and carry on.
Oh yeah, where you start
1, 2,
from
3, 4, 5
zero
until
and then
8.
you write to yeah.
Until 9.
That's
And then
beautiful.
after you do your times, and then after that you do 9 equals. And then at the top you write 0, 1, 2,
Uh-huh.
3 until you're done. And then
Uh-huh.
afterwards you start all over. But when you're
Mm-hmm.
empty, you see at the bottom of when it says um 9 times 9,
Mm-hmm.
in your answer is meant to be 80, but you can also get the answer of 80. You get the answer of 81. So 81, and then afterwards you keep on going up until you get to 9.
Uh-huh.
My mother taught me that method.
Ah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you, Ne.
You're mostly welcome, sir.
All right. Awesome. Last hand, and then I need to start teaching you guys. I need to start beautifully putting information into your beautiful brains.
Sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, and you?
I am fantastical.
Sir, it's when
Yes.
this, so it's, let's say, 165 over 24. I don't,
Mm-hmm.
it's very hard to simplify it.
Mm-hmm. So that time now you're speaking about fractions and you're speaking about division.
Yes, sir.
Here we're looking at multiplication, but I will cover that when we go into there. I do promise to cover that when we go into that part.
Yes, sir.
All right. 100%. 100%. Right, guys. Another thing, very important, very, 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 very important is that please, 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 please know my email address, know my Twitter. This one is for when you're going to send me your homework because I need to check if you guys are on par. So when you send me your homework, you're going to just send me a picture of your homework, and then I will know you guys are on par. Then I'll know you guys when I say are on par, it means that you are at the level at which you can be tested, where you can be tested knowing the information that you should have, you understand? So it's very important to do your homework and send it to me. I've put it also in the chat, so everyone has received it in the chat. Let us start. So we're dealing with vertical multiplication. So multiplication is when you take one number and add it a number of times. The example is 5 by 4 or 5 times 4, where you're adding 5 4 times, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. We took the number 5 and added it 4 times. This is why multiplication is called times. So the times part is about the fact that this will tell us how many times we're going to add that number. Add the number. That's why you're always going, it's a repeated addition. Multiplication, repeated addition, they are the same people. To say that you take the same number and you keep on adding it the same time. That's how you get the multiples of a number. Because when you say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, you've been adding 5, you've been adding 5, you've been adding 5, you've been adding 5. So this is where the whole idea of multiplication comes from. It's repeated addition, and the addition comes from the part where you speak of times. The addition comes from the part where you speak of times. That's where we say, okay, 5 multiplied by 4, that means that it's 5 added 4 times, which is the multiplied part. I understand. It's repeated addition. Let's move on to the next slide. And then I say, guys, to always, your times tables are very important. There's nothing more important to you right now in your life than your times table. Okay, there might be other things, but right now, I cannot stress how important are your times tables. You need to know them. You need to practice them. You need to understand them. It makes you become quicker in multiplication. You start actually doing sums faster. You start actually working out things faster. There won't be actually delays. You know, when you speak about delays, you won't find yourself having delays. So please, 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 knowing your times tables are crucial, are critical, important. I don't know other synonyms that I can use, but it's very, 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 very important to know your times tables, to know it, to live it, to understand it. I don't know how more I can sing this to say, please know your times table. Know them, 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 know them. Right. As I am going on, I said that we're doing revision, just to clear up anyone who just entered. We're doing revision because next week you have a assessment that you're going to be doing. So since next week is assessment, this is a revision. We're doing revision over. Right. So in multiplication, we have something called the multiplicate, the multiplier, and the product. Different. But someone named multiplicate, you've got a friend named multiplier, and you've got a friend named product. Now, multiplicate is the number being multiplied. Multiplier is the number that is multiplying the multiplicate. So the multiplier is the one that causes the repeated addition. The one that we're going to make us say 5, it's going to make us say 5 plus 5 plus 5 is what we call our multiplier. It's the number that's going to make us do this and tell us how many times we're going to be adding repeatedly. And then the product is the result of multiplication. So the product is the answer. So please, guys, write this down. I'm going to give you guys a quick 2 minutes to write down that information. And then we go into some sums, and then you guys are going to do a sum, and then you're going to write your homework, and then we're done. Yes, 2 minutes. If you are using, as I said, I explained how we can use the technology of taking a screenshot. Some of you can, so there's a screenshot, there's a screen grab, there's a screen recording. There's a lot that you can do as well besides just writing down in case the pen and paper, you and like the time that you work with the pen and paper takes you some time. So there's a lot we can do, as we've already spoken about the different ways that we can take screenshots with different devices. I once mentioned the way how you do it with an Apple, some with an Android phone and all of that. So please, 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 try your best to use the technology to the best of your ability. All right. "40 seconds. 40 seconds left. 40 seconds left. Guys, please, this is a time that also, if you have any questions, if you have any questions in regards to multiplication, it's time that you think about them now. It's time you think about them now, and you think about them now, and then we do them. Right. So who's done? Please, can I have notification of who's done in the chat? Who is done writing? Who is finished? Who is done? 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 Can I have notification? Right. This is beautiful. This is what I love. I love this. I love. Right. So I have 3 times 5. Right. I have 3 times 5. And using the repeated addition method, I add 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, 3, 6, 9. 3 times 5 gives you 15. And with multiplication, you're always going to be getting a multiple of the number. That's why you're going to, when you ask questions like, what is the third multiple of 9? You know that the third multiple of 9 is good, not 9, the third multiple of 3 is 9. What is the second multiple of 3? 6. This is the type of questions that come out with multiplication because it shows that you've understood. And you've also understood the part. I hope we're writing this down. Please write also this information, screen grab, screenshot, etc. I hope you also get the information that it's important that you understand the concepts, especially when you're adding, because you add a lot in multiplication, especially when you're also doing the other types as well. So it's very important within your mind somewhere. In your mind somewhere, you must store the information to say no. With multiplication, there's a part about repeated addition. And that part about repeated addition works like X or Y or Z, understand? So it's very important, right, to say, okay, 3 times 5. And then now getting the multiples of 3. To say it's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. You keep on adding. What's 3 plus 3? 6. Plus 3 is 9. Plus 3 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. That's how it works. Repeated addition, this is how it works. So can I please have notification of is done so I can move on to the next question? Can I get notification of who is done so we can move on to the next question? Beautiful. Beautiful. Who's done writing the information? Then we move on to the next question. Beautiful. Right. This is why I'm saying that multiplication and repeated addition from the same family. Now, we're doing 89 multiplied by 72. Right. So, 89 multiplied by 72 is what? Let's think. Let's think very critically. And how do we do this? Because there are two ways of doing it. There's no way that you're going to be adding 82 79 times. You're going to lose track, probably forgot to add something, get confused. Right. So you have two methods. One method respects place value. So each and every space, especially when you're adding this section, right, speaks about a particular place value. Speaks about, no, this part you're dealing with the tens, this part you're dealing with the units, right? Each and every part deals with a particular place value. Now, when we are multiplying, we say 8 times 2 is what? 18, right? So we put the 8 carry 1. Then we say, sorry, not 9 times 2 is 18. We put the 8 to carry 1. 9 times 8 is what? 72. Plus 1, it's 73. We are done here. Then we move on to the next one. So we erase any remainder that we would have had at the top. And now we go to the next row. The next row, we are multiplying by 70. The 7 here is a 70. It's not an ordinary 7. It's not your everyday 7. It's a 70. It's speaking to us as 70. So since this is 70, I'll need to put a 0 here, which is a placeholder, to respect who? Place value. The guy I said who's from Pretoria, the CBD, yes, that man of ours, that friend of ours, place value. To respect place value, I need to place a 0 here. In me respecting place value, I know that when I'm now multiplying here, I'm not multiplying by a 7. I'm multiplying by what? A 70. A 70. And now when I put the 0 here, I say 7 times 2 is what? 14. So I put the 4, I carry 1. And then I say 7 times 8 is what? 56 plus 1, 57. Then I add 8 plus 0 is 8. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. So it's the 4 carry 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. Then I'm done. 6,478. Or I can do it this method. I open them up. So I open the 82, which is 80, plus 2. Sorry, 80 plus 2. I open the 79, which is 70, plus 9. And when I do that, I know that now I must now multiply 2 times 9. Then I say 9 times 80. Then I must also multiply 70 times 2, 70 times 80. 2 times 9 is 18. 80 times 9 is 720. 2 times 70 is 140. 80 times 70 is 5,600. Then I add 5,600 plus 720 plus 140 plus 18 gives me 6,478. Are there any questions? I hope we've written this down. Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Beautiful. I love this. Now that means that the mind is starting to move. The brain is starting to have cycles. Let's start. Question
So,
number.
Sam,
Yes. Hello.
Sam,
Yeah.
so when you multiply, how come you always have to count in a certain number? Like, for example, when you say 2 times 3, you have to count in twos 3 times.
Because remember that 3 is the multiplier. So 3 is the one that tells you how many times you're going to add the 2. But remember,
What?
because it's multiplication, the beauty of it is that 2 times 3 and 3 times 2 gives me the same answer.
Yes, sir.
So
sir,
that's the thing. Yes.
so what if, for example, for example,
Yes.
you count like all the time when you multiply, you count in ones. Will you get your proper answer even though you count in ones?
So you mean like how?
I mean, like, for example, when you say 4 times 4 and you count in ones, and are you going to get your wrong
But if you count in
answer?
ones, you are multiplying by 1.
Yes, sir.
You see? So
So,
what I can suggest to make your life easy, practice your times tables, ne?
yes,
And
sir.
and then just try adding by that number. For example, if I say to you 4 plus 4, what is the answer?
It's going to be 8.
Plus 4?
It's going to be 16.
No, 4 plus 4 is 8, ne?
Mm-hmm.
Plus 4 plus 4
It's
plus 4
it's 12.
plus 4.
It's 16.
You see how easy it is?
Yes, sir.
Aha. So then just try that. Just try adding. The only thing, let me tell you a secret that sometimes we try and keep away from you as teachers. Have you realized that most of the time you're just doing simple multiplication and behind it you're just putting a 0?
No, sir.
For example, look at this one. Look at 80 times 9. If I said 8 times 9 is 72, then I just put a 0 behind it. It's 720. The answer is correct.
Oh, so now I get it, sir. So, sir,
If I
you
said 2 times 70, and since there's a 0 here, because it works with numbers that have zeros. If I said 2 times 70, what's 2 times 7?
it's 14.
Then I just put a 0. I'm done.
So, sir, with a single digit, so with a single digit you don't put a 0, but with a double digit you put a 0.
It depends on the number, right?
Okay.
It depends on the number. But most double digits, when you're multiplying double digit with a double digit or 3 digits with a double digit, you are going to be multiplying with a number that has a 0 because you broke it up a number that had a 10 and a unit.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we find that.
So, sir, I just want to
That's fine. Ask
so,
one.
sir, when you're multiplying, it's very easy because then when you have a 0, it's so you just take away the 0 and then you times and then after that you just put back the 0 and then you get your
If you
answer.
find situations like this, when you find a situation like this, just multiply this one and put a 0 behind. Like even this one here, look, 7 times 8 is what? 56.
56.
Then I just take this 0, Done. That's the beauty of zero. I know it seems weird, but that's the beauty of zero. Right, let me just get the other questions and then I'll come back. Hello. Hello. Hello, hello. Right, found. Hello. Gone away. Isan. Right? Hello. Isan. Fine. Such things do happen. Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine.
I'm good. Your question?
No, sir.
You don't have a question?
No, sir.
Hey, son, it's fine. It's okay. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
You have a Do you have a question? So stop clicking this thing too many times. Do you have a question? Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I am fantabulous. You have
Also, why does multiplication have to be sometimes very complicated?
in terms of?
Like when you do it with fractions. That time I wasn't really understanding.
Uh-huh.
Yes, like why does it always have to be a bit complicated?
But do you understand now?
Yes.
As long as you see the light, it's perfect. But remember, not everything comes to certain things in life. Not everything comes easy the first time. But once you get it, it's beautiful.
Yes, sir.
So once you've understood, I'm a happy man, I must actually go and jump on top of the roof now and disturb my neighbors and tell them that someone has understood multiplication. We've actually done one more great thing in the world.
Okay. So why does mathematics also get a bit more harder as you grow?
Because that's life. The older you get, the more difficult things become.
Oh, I'm going to fail mathematics and I'm in grade 10.
Oh, you won't. You never. Right, last question I need you guys to do. Last question, and please keep it to the class. Keep it to the class. Keep it to the class. Oh, I'm done. I did everyone. Awesome. All right. I hope we're done writing down the work here. I gave you guys more than enough time. More than enough time. Now, what did I do? Right. Try this example here. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to try it both ways. Try this example and try it both ways. Both examples that I showed you how to do it, try it both ways. And your time starts now. 5 minutes to try that example both ways. Both ways. 5 minutes to try that example both ways. Both ways that I showed you earlier on. So it's 66 multiplied by 55. 66 multiplied by 55. Try it both ways. Both ways I showed you, try it. To see which one do you find easiest. To see which one do you find easiest. So try it both ways. To see which way you find it easiest. 66 multiplied by 55. 66 multiplied by 55. To see which way you find it easiest. More understanding. that doesn't have to do with a lot. Which way do you find it easiest? 66 multiplied by 55. 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 To see which way is easiest. To see which way is easiest. Do 66 multiplied by 55. Two minutes remaining. One minute remaining. 1 minute remaining. 1 minute remaining. 1 minute remaining. 1 minute remaining. Please respect place value. Our friend place value. 1 minute remaining. Yeah. 1 minute remaining. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, so you've got 66 multiplied by 55. And noting that it's 66 multiplied by 55, we start. 5 times 6 is what? 30. Carry over 3. Then 5 times 6 is 30 again, plus 3 is 33. Then we put what? Since this is 50, right? This is a whole 50. We're going to put 0 as a placeholder. We're going to put 0 as a placeholder. Then now we say 5 times 6 is what? Oh, also remove any remainders. Then you say 5 times 6 is what? It's 30. So you put the 0, you carry 3. Then you say again, 5 times 6 is what? 30 plus 3 is 33. Then you just add 0 plus 0 is 0, 3 plus 0 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, then 3 plus nothing is 3,630. Oh, here there was a mishap. Please ignore this. Here there was a mishap. There was a mishap. I was supposed to change it, but it's fine. It's fine at all. Then the answer is 3,630. Do you have any questions? There was a mishap here. It's fine. Do you have any questions? Any questions at all? Any questions at all? Any questions at all? Questions. Please write this down. Please ignore the mishap over here. Please write this down. I can't really remove it because of the time. Time doesn't agree with us. Well, let's do this. Yeah, time doesn't really agree with us, but any questions? Any questions? I hope you guys have written down the answer. It's 3,630. Let me move on. Yeah. Right. Here is your homework. Any questions? Any questions? Right. Let's try again. I think some of your mics might not be working, but it's fine. It happens. Hello? Hello?
Hi,
Hello?
sir.
Yes.
So,
Oh, okay. Wait. Let me just mute one. Get one question. Hello, you have a question?
Oh, no.
You don't have a question? All right. Are there no questions at all? Oh, seems so. It seems that there are no questions at all. Right. Since all of you guys understand, please take down the homework, send it to my email, and yeah, we are done. We have like 2 minutes left, so there's no question in the last 2 minutes. Then I'm going to close the class beautifully. That was an amazing lesson. Thank you guys so much.
sir,
Amazing lesson. Hello.
sir, please go back to the other page.
Which one? This one. This one.
Yes. So,
Right.
sir, over here there are 2 different answers, but then I'm not sure that I understand.
I said that this one was a mistake. It was a mishap.
Oh,
I was
okay.
going to remove it. There was a mistake here. There was a mistake. Please ignore this. It was a mistake.
Okay.
Answer there. This one was a mistake. This one was a mistake. Mistake. As you can see, it's from the example that I had put forward earlier on. So this one was just a slight mistake. It happens. So yeah, here's the answer. So if you have 3,630, it's perfect. Please note that this was a mistake. That's why I'm erasing it as many times as possible.
Yes, sir.
This
Okay.
was a mistake. All right.
You may go
Besides that, are there any other questions? Besides that, is there any other question at hand? All right. If there are no questions, goodbye. Have a beautiful time at home. Stay safe, stay awesome. Tomorrow we're doing division. We're together with division. We're going to be stuck with division. We're going to be everything with division tomorrow. So stay well, stay awesome. Bye-bye. Sharp.